yellow, kneading the buttocks and so on and so forth.
Forged ID, painted plates, and so on and so forth.
Pursuing and witness if in the name of God, amen, sir.
Have a good time with the girls and so forth.
Learned his craft and so forth.
Of deceased parents and so
well,
forth.
It means and all the rest and so forth, Your Majesty.
Physical presence, study his mannerisms and so on and so forth. Now,
If there was anything I could do for you, and so forth.
What's in the name? Yes, good. Nibbling the yellow, kneading the buttocks and so on and so forth. So we have all these possibilities before we...
How'd they get in here?
Forged ID, painted plates, and so on and so forth. And they moved the main video camera on the dock, sir.
This contract between me and you, pursuing and witness if in the name of God, amen, so forth. 1, that you and me will settle this matter together.
Take things as they come. Have a good time with the girls and so forth. Don't get up.
On where he gets all his information from. Learned his craft and so forth.
I do not regard such personal questions as...
Birth certificate. The only son of deceased parents and so forth. In short.
Well, it means and all the rest and so forth, Your Majesty.
now, opportunity to observe Browning, adopt his physical presence, study his mannerisms, and so on and so forth. So now, in the first layer of the dream, I can impersonate Browning.
He wrote me you were coming to Berlin. If there was anything I could do for you, and so forth.
Well, that kind of, Captain.
You heard the judge. You know that's not grounds for an appeal.
What the heck? Jury of my peers and so on and so forth.
Right.
So, gentlemen, you speak of Jews and gypsies, Negroes, so on and so forth. But one has to regard...
Folks in the provinces look up to us. We need to be efficient. We can't have this kind of back and forth and so forth. It's just not efficient. Am I right?
Punch or wine, my lord? Hearts was meant, and so forth.
He's had no context. He's been completely without guidance. Furthermore, his work, the garden sculptures, hairstyles, and so forth, indicate that he's a highly imaginative...
Earliest convenience. Thursday morning, say. Expenses and so forth.
Happened in the courtroom. They asked me my full name and so forth. What else did they ask you?
If the goal was to highlight certain advances, Trimaran as the caravan at the sea and so forth, we're not putting our best foot forward. Over.
Branches are numbered 01 to 06. The central branch is 07, 08, so on and so forth.
You mean those numbers on the bottom of a check actually mean something?
But I am pregnant, aren't I?
Oh, yes, it's just for blood sugar and so forth. Nothing to be concerned about. You're pregnant, don't worry.
All right.
None of my business. You want to push me to answer you. So you haven't got a contract to get stolen and so forth.
You got a mean streak in you, Ricky. You know that? Shut the fuck up.
Time required, remuneration, funeral arrangements, so forth.
Funeral arrangements?
You're engaged in now, in terms of purpose and so forth.
Certainly.
For the day, race number, who's running, who's riding, so forth.
What's 20/1?
That's odds.
You feel right at home as quickly as possible. Respectfully yours, and so on and so forth. And there's a picture.
I'll lean forward a bit.
All right. That's something anyway.
Well, I thought you'd like to know, so that you can write home and so forth. That's all.
Some sculptures here from many famous collections. Capodimonte, Corano, Pompeii, and so forth. This is the famous group of dancers.
Director of the Space Test Group. You'll write research, proof calculation, and so forth. Do not talk to Mr. Harrison unless he talks to you.
We'll have to get what you've done so far, where you came from.
Yes, well,
and
I
so
brought
forth.
my scrapbook with me,
Oh,
and I thought that
thanks, dear. Very nice.
Little boys sucking on their peckers, etc., so forth. I am as God made me. Was that your ration?
First button here, if you thought it was the second word I had read. Arm, you would push the second button, so on and so forth for the third and fourth word choices.
Now, if you...
I'm getting to my knees, praying, Lord is my shepherd, and so forth and so on. Sorry for all the bad shit I've done, and...
My shit. And so on. And so forth. Herr Beethoven, there are many...
I need to know everything on how this thing was put together so you can start supplying me with the technical manuals and so forth. And most of all, you got to get me straight on the factory floor.
Out of the room into the hall and greet him. Tell him how fine he's looking and so forth. And take his hat.
Beloved, we're gathered here, blah, 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 so on and so forth, rat-a-tat-tat, yabba-dabba. I now pronounce you man and wife. Kiss the bride.
Commissions and so forth.
And a man could get rich on the and so forth, is that it? You offering me the job?
You wouldn't have any trouble getting elected.